How is Nico Raskin after the injury he picked up at the weekend?
Not good enough to be in the squad for tomorrow. So that's a downfall, because he was doing good things and he was taking steps. But, yeah, it's a pity, but we need to find another solution.
Not available for tomorrow. Is there a time scale on when you might get him back? Is it looking long term?
I hope it's short term, but it's not guaranteed. Towards the weekend we will see next couple of days how these things evolve.
How is the rest of your squad? Is Tom Lawrence closer to being an option?
He's closer because he's training now, but he's not yet fit enough to be in the squad.
How do you assess the importance of these two games this week? Two different competitions, but is this quite a big week, albeit still very early on into things?
This week and next week and next month, they're all big games. There are no easy games or games that you just throw away. So I want an ambitious squad. I want people who are ambitious every day, not only the games, also in the training. So there's totally no difference for me about this game or the last game or the next game.
Philippe, you've talked a lot about managing the minutes of the squad, especially players that are returning from injury. Is Danilo ready to start, or will we like to see him from the bench again, given his match-winning impact at the weekend?
It's a good question. We'll see tomorrow.
No,
he's ready to play. He's ready to play. We will see what is important in this game, if it's necessary that he starts or that he comes in. It depends on the opponent also, what profiles you need, physical state of the players. He's not ready for 90 minutes. That's logical. And yeah, that's the difficult thing for the moment. It's quite a puzzle. It's the biggest puzzle that I ever saw, to be honest, with all the injuries and players falling out. Like, I need to say one thing more. So John Sutter will also not be available for the game with a muscle problem. Not a big one, but not available for the game. So until now, we started with a lot of players who are not available. Some players falling out also last couple of weeks. So it will be very important every game to look really good at the minutes of every player and try to build their physical condition, their robustness in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months to have a bigger squad available.
You say it's the biggest puzzle that you've ever seen. Can you put your finger on why there are so many injuries? Is it just luck?
Yes, but not for you guys. That's something for in the club.
Is it something you are addressing internally?
Of course.
And just in terms of going back to Danilo, you said that he's not ready for 90. He could start. How big a player can he be for you here?
I don't believe in those things that you can say, okay, he can grow to that level, because there are players always that surprise you, that go beyond that level. There are also players that never reach that level. So it's our responsibility, for me, the staff, everybody, to give them all the tools to become the best player they can be, in every sense, physically, technically, tactically, mentally, to work with them really hard every day, to let them make progression. And then it's about players taking these tools also and use it. So that's what we're going to do, like it's been in the other clubs also. And it's about players taking their own responsibility in that. But it's a young player with potential to grow, that's for sure.
The changes, Philippe, that you are making to the medical side of it to try and get the players fitter and more robust, will they have short-term impacts, or do you think it will be a longer term before you really see the benefits of your work in that regard?
This is the work that never is short-term. That's impossible. Or you need to use things that are not allowed. And we're not planning to do that. And even then, it doesn't help, because then it's short-term. No, that's a long-term project. Creating physical ability, creating players ready for 90 minutes every 3 days during months, that's not something you can create by 2 weeks training. Nobody can do that. Same with robustness, same with building up muscles and making them stronger in general. it's work of longer term. But everybody in the club knows it's a really important part for the future of Rangers.
Have you been surprised by the condition of some of the players since you came in?
Next question, please.
How important is it for you to try and address that? Because it's also a big part of how you want your team to play when you have playing in 3 or 4 competitions. It's also really important that you have this as big a squad as possible.
Of course, but for the players also, and I feel that they are all motivated, also the staff, to do that, to work really hard to become better. And they showed also good physical things during these 3 games. But some can do it for the moment in that way, but not enough players to be competitive all the time, and that's what we want to do. So that's a job to do all together, and we're going to do it.
Was Kamara Roof assessed, and did you get to the bottom of what his problem is?
We're still busy with that, yes.
In terms of how long he's going to be out, have you got any indication?
No, for the moment, totally not. If it's long term or short term, we don't have for the moment. We are busy with this assessment.
How frustrating is it for you to have so many players?
No, I'm not a coach who's going to turn around in a problem. If there's a problem, it's my job to find solutions. And I'm focused on that. And sometimes the solutions can be also something that is better than you thought of. Sometimes also that you find a solution with a player that you didn't expect before, and that he blossoms because he gets a chance that normally you would not get. So I'm focused totally on the fit players, on the players who are in the squad, on the players who need to do the job against Dundee, to focus on that. That's the thing. And together with the club, we are thinking about the players who are injured, what to do with them to get them back as fast as possible. And the players who are in the squad, I need to think how many minutes I can give them to let them grow in the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. That's the only.
Has it changed your mind in terms of how many players you may think you want in the next transfer window?
No, it's much too early to talk about that because we still have 2 months to go. So I hope in these 2 months we can make this squad much stronger.
Philippe, can I just clarify what Nico Raskam's problem is? Was it ankle? Was it calf?
It was ankle. Yeah.
Ankle. Thanks. It sounds like.
I'm more talking like a doctor this press conference and a manager. So I prefer to talk a little bit about football also.
Apologies. Well, kind of related, but football. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for you, sports science and the way that you train and the things that go on away from the 90 minutes on a Saturday are hugely important. And it sounds like you want to bring maybe something that you had at previous clubs, bring it here to Rangers. Would that be
I think it's the story of every manager, that he has his own philosophy of working and how to bring fitness to players, because it's a key part in football. It's not the only part, for sure not. But it's key that your players are top athletes and that they're stronger. If they're stronger than the other team, then you have more chance for success. And they need to play really well together, and they need to make the right choices, and the structure needs to be clear. And there are a lot of other things also, but of course physical ability is a very important part of football.
And in terms of the ability, the footballing ability that you've seen since you've come in, you've been here a few weeks now, how do you rate that within your own squad, but also maybe the rest of the Scottish League? How are you finding things?
That I'm positively surprised about some players in the squad. That I saw less things in the games that they played at the beginning of the season, that I see potential to grow. And in general, in the Scottish League, I knew it's a very competitive league with a lot of physical teams who strong with good organization, a low block waiting for transitions and for set pieces. So no surprises in that way.
Philippe, turning to tomorrow night, your first away game as Rangers manager, how are preparations going for that?
It's not okay. It's in the competition, first away game. We've been to Prague. For me, there's no difference between home games and away games. okay, we have the advantage to have 50,000 really good fans in our home stadium, but I don't want to use that as an excuse in away games when it's not the case, that we need to be less sharp, that we need to be less ambitious. So for me, that's not a difference.
How important is it for you to build on Sunday? You spoke about the mentality from your players, you spoke about them using it as a reference game, one that they look back to later in the season. How important is it for you to build on Sunday tomorrow night in Dundee?
Not only mentality, it's a lot of things. It's technically, tactically also to build. Then it's a pity that you lose players along the way, because then you need to restart again with others who step in, who do it for the first time, for example. No, it's important, but it's not game by game that the exam is there. That's in a few weeks and a few months, how you see the team evolve. I know there will be bumps in the road. It will not be a story that only goes like that. It's never that way. So we need to be ready also the moment we do this, but then we need to go up again. That's important.
On that, how much confidence did Sunday give you, though, that, you know, from your own team's perspective anyway, that the league is still there for the taking?
I never talked about it, but it's a good question to go around to get me to a certain answer. It's a good try. That's not the first time that happens. We're focused on ourselves. Point. So game by game, I don't want anybody in this building thinking about what can be at the end of the road. I want that everybody's focused on the road, to stay on the road and to make these roads stronger and stronger, that we can compete in every competition. That's the only focus this club and this team needs to have at the moment.
Last one, Adam. There was a lovely moment at the end of the game that I saw on the club's social media channels with Danilo and Cantwell celebrating in front of the fans at the end of the game. You spoke when you first came in about wanting to bring back that connection between the players and the fans. Do you feel like that's starting to repair? Can you see evidence of that?
For sure, and it's like I said, a two-way street. We, the players, need to show first our passion, giving everything, wanting to do everything to get results, and then the fans follow. And that you saw in the weekend, the players gave everything, they kept on going. So if you repeat this for a certain time, you will get back credit in the bank for a certain moment. And for the moment, it's building up these things to not do it one time, but do it several times. So that's a task to do, and then there can be an incredible energy and synergy in this stadium again, because that's for me one of the reasons to come here, because I saw this, how much power that can give. I believe also a lot in those things. So it's one thing, one of the important things I want to recreate between fans and the players.
Sorry, just to go back to injuries, but can we have an update on Kieran Dow as well? Do you know what's happening with him?
Kieran will be in the squad for tomorrow.
Thank you guys. Bailey's.